Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to lavenderDoesTarot. And in today's tarot card reading, as the thumbnail, we're going to be seeing for the specific situation for your no contact, what is this person on your mind feeling about you? So in this reading, you can ask about a friend and a family member or a partner as well. And we have three different piles you can pick. And let me just introduce them to you. And I would be explaining the spread so you guys don't get confused while you're watching this video, but let's just look at pile 1. You have got the clear quartz. This is pile 2 with the amethyst crystal, and this is pile 3 with the rose quartz. So it's okay if you're drawn to like more than one over here. It could be that there could be some messages in the other pile, and in this spread we're going to be seeing the energy check. So I've shuffled the cards out already, and then we're going to be looking at their main thoughts while they're thinking. What have they realized what they have been thinking? And we're going to be seeing what their ego is telling them versus what their heart is thinking, and then we're going to be concluding off with one card to see what overall they have been thinking about you, so you can get the clarity and you can just walk out of this video with not having that anxiety and to continuously watch other readings. So I'll see you guys over your paper card, and till then relax and take your time and let your intuition guide you. Also, this is a general reading, of course, so take what resonates and leave it for the rest. Hello, pile number 1. If you guys pick the clear spots, then this is going to be your reading about the person on your mind and what are they thinking about you. So, if you skip the intro, I'll just explain the spread anyways to you guys, because if I don't, you might get a bit confused, and I don't want you guys to go out of this video without any sort of clarity. So before we jump into the main topic of what is this person thinking about you, and also this reading is about a person that could be a friend or that could also be a family member of yours. So anybody is relevant, but since it's a general reading, you got to take it with where the things are fitting in and how you're able to relate. So if you were also drawn to these pile of cards over here, then these cards that I pre-shuffled are going to be for the energy check. So we're going to be looking at the dynamic in this connection and what are the issues. So starting off, this card that I shuffled is going to be the connecting energies between you two, and we have got the shadow, and that is in reverse. Now, okay, so this part is about illusions cracking out now. So if you guys were in illusion, also I'm sensing the word disagreement. So if you guys had any sort of disagreement or between you two, someone is not listening or someone just figured out something and that is not agreeable anymore. It could be any behavior that they do, or it could be something that you have told them that you're not comfortable with, but they still did it. So that's the energy with the shadow being reversed. If this was upright, I see upright as being healthy. Even the card is negative, but when it's in reverse, I see it as unhealthy. So even the shadow over here talks about illusions, but this is in reverse, is talking that it is cracking up, and now you gotta see this connection once again and really see whether you want it again in your life or not. I hope that makes sense. But disagreement is a strong word coming in, I just want to say. So if you had it, and I do feel like if the shadow is in reverse, I feel like you guys will be mirroring each other for sure, because I like this is kind of giving me a vibe that there was a friction, and that's the reason there could have been disagreements, if that makes sense. So the first card that I shuffle is going to be your energy, and the second card that I shuffled is going to be your person's energy. So that's how I have put my intentions while shuffling, but it's also okay if you guys feel like you feel flip-flops. So for you guys, you got the buffalo card upright. And for a person, we have got the oyster. Okay, so now I see the dynamic a little more clearly. So if you're the buffalo person, you guys have been actively showing the potential maybe to this person about something or about the relationship or the connection that you guys have with them. And with the oyster card, as your person, they are emotionally a bit closed off. It is like they are vulnerable and they want to be closed because they kind of feel small, they kind of feel scared, they kind of, they kind of misunderstanding something of this buffalo person. So there's one person really open and the one person is emotionally shut. So I think because of this, it kind of makes sense why the shadow is coming up in reverse, because both of them are two different people. And the buffalo is, it's very upfront and even honest, even though it kind of comes out as blunt, but is honest. And with the oyster person, maybe the oyster person didn't like it, and that's the reason why they got, emotionally shut. And I do feel like the buffalo person is going to be somebody that is like, hey, look at this, even if we had this negative outcome or we lost in something, but there's still hope. So I do feel like the buffalo is coming up as, hey, listen, there is, still hope for whatever has happened. But I think the oyster person, it kind of gives like the oyster person over here has got a shock. Okay, has got a shock of something. And that's the reason why they are emotionally closed. So if you're able to relate with the energies now, you can either find yourself in both the buffalo or maybe the oyster person. The thing is, you should find yourself in the spread and in the dynamic. Okay, so, and I do feel like there could be this tug of war between you two where the other person is like, nope, I'm not doing it. This is not acceptable. And the buffalo person is like, no, we gotta do this. And the buffalo person is confident, but the oyster person is not confident at all, in my opinion. They're just closed off. They're like, I need time. And and this could be the reason why the situation could have went no contact. Hmm. And it's like someone that was something, like they had a personality, and now they have suddenly become a total different person. And for you accepting that, it could be kind of triggering, right? If especially they're doing something that triggers you or triggers this oyster person, if this is your person. And I do feel like there's one person really constantly like putting in effort, but the other person is not. They're very reserved. They're very oh my god, preservative. Take it the meaning as you can, because these type of words do tend to be different meaning in situations. So you take it as per your situation, okay? So yeah, they're reserved. The oyster is really reserved. So let's just see about the issues of what has happened more. So I had shuffled one tarot card to see, and I got the Page of Wands reversed for you guys. Now, if the Page of Wands is upright, I always assume that the page is very curious, they're active, they're exploring, and they're very excited. But the Page of Wands is in reverse. This is kind of making me feel like one person is held back. One person is really held back and is kind of giving a sign that it's a big no for now. And for some of you, this could also be in like an argument. I'm just getting a friendship vibe where, the other person is like, oh, we used to have this amount of fun. Like, what's wrong with you? We're not having this type of fun anymore. So this is again, um, this type of closed off energy. Like, why aren't you doing this anymore? Is sort of what I'm able to get. And even the Page of Wands is reversed, that does not mean there's no spark in this connection. There is, but I do feel like one person is choosing not to show it and the other person is actively showing it. Okay, so this is again kind of giving me those type of fights where, oh, I did this but you didn't, and another person is like, oh, because your behavior is like this, I cannot deal with it anymore. A lot of constant fighting. And also it was like a blame game, where I'm seeing like the other person is like, oh, you did this and it's because that's why I'm like this. It's again, and then the other person's like, no, I wanted to make you realize, and that's where I'm getting the buffalo's energy. Okay, and that's where the buffalo is like, hey, I've been trying to show you this, but you're closing it off. Like, I'm putting efforts, but you're shutting it down, telling and bringing up something from the past, maybe, or maybe something that has triggered them. in some ways. Maybe it could be like not with you, but with something else. Okay. And that's what we're getting with the oyster. I think feel like with the oyster, this person, whoever it is very sensitive. Okay. And for them, handling emotion is difficult. So I do feel like they have this type of tendency where they can shut down and get isolated. And the buffalo's person, like, what the hell? Like, they do it without, they get a shock. The buffalo person gets a shock, like, when did you get this closed off? What happened? And they have no idea about it. It is like natural tendency to shut down sometimes. So let's just see more about your situation. So I've got two oracle cards over here, and this is from the chakra wisdom oracle, and we got the victim card, and this is kind of associated with the heart chakra. Okay, the victim card is also about, there's two people fighting over an acorn, and the other person is like, it's like, I was promised to get this, but the other person is like, no, this is the season where I have to store food, so I need it. And then there's this tug of war where there's one person fighting, and over here nobody's a victim. Like, they're having the struggle for. And the moon card, which my intentions were to see the emotional state of this connection, and we got full moon in Sagittarius. Now this again is making sense if you guys are the buffalo. Like, you guys are like, yeah, even if the situation is not rainbows all the time, but you gotta face it. I do feel like the buffalo person is more embracing, whereas the oyster is very reserved and they're not accepting it. They're this is again that they're very sensitive and they want gentleness. And I do feel like the buffalo person being very upfront could be triggering the oyster person over here. But look at the bigger picture, the emotional state. Again, I'm just getting like one person is kind of optimistic, but the other person is like, they're not sure about it. They're not sure about it. So that's why there's this page of on reverse where, the one person is closed off. They don't want to, they don't have that, I wouldn't say they don't have the spark, but they are emotionally reserved. And that's the reason why there is a lot of disbalance. There's a lot of contradiction in your spread, guys. And I can really tell, like, if this is a dynamic between you two, this is going to take a long time for, to come together and to make a good friendship again, or maybe have that relationship back the way you wanted it again. Like, you were not like this in the initial phases in my life, but now suddenly you have become like this. And it is like the buffalo does not know the reason as to why this is happening, but is kind of unaware in certain areas, whereas the oyster is all knowing over here and is knowingly doing this in order to protect themselves. So if you guys were able to relate with this spread, this is the energy check. Now we're going to get into what is this person thinking about you in this no contact situation. So I also want to say, like, if this is an ex-partner, I do feel like this could be the dynamic. And since this dynamic is like, if this is going on for a long time in a loop, it's very exhausting for this oyster person. That's the reason why they might be the one that could have broken up. Okay, because this is very exhausting for. So let me just get the spread out. And let's just see what this person is thinking. So I'll just get the spread on the corner. And I'm going to be using the light sheer deck to see what's coming up. So first question that I'm going to be asking is, what are their main thoughts? What are they mainly thinking about you in this no contact situation? So I just wanted you guys to just relax, just get your thoughts a bit empty, so you can work with your own intuition and take your own judgment. Also, I want to say, like, if I'm getting any information where you feel like that's not the case, that's okay. It could be for someone else again. But if you feel down in your gut that this has happened and you don't know about it, then take it. It could be like, your gut and this video trying to confirm that information that you have been thinking. So I think, like, I did enough shuffles and I feel like it's ready to give the answers. So what are their main thoughts or what they've been mainly thinking about pile number one. Okay, we got the King of Cups being upright. So this is what they're thinking about you. Okay, I do feel like with the buffalo, could be, again, you could resonate more with the buffalo. I do feel like this person is mainly thinking about you, that how strong and how emotionally mature you are from them. Okay, I do feel like they have been thinking about you as a king, like you were not controlling, but you were really good at with your emotions. And I do feel like the oyster person, if that's the person, they're realizing that how good you were with your emotions, and maybe they doubted you. Maybe they doubted this King of Cups. Like maybe you guys were right, and maybe they're realizing this at this moment, maybe. Okay, but they are seeing you as the King of Cups. Now, even this card has a gender of a boy, but you don't have to be a man. You could, energies are gender neutral. So just take it as for your situation. But I just want to give it a reminder for some of you that are new to this channel. Okay, now let's just see what have they realized thinking about you. Okay, we got one card flip over, and we got the Death. Okay, this is kind of giving me that they are reminiscing a bit about the situation with you. What have they realized? I do feel like I'm getting a rebirth. I do feel like this connection could have transformed them. Now, again, I'm getting two types of life. Either they are seeing you as someone that was mature and they didn't listen, or is this coming off as you made them realize that how capable they were, and maybe they didn't, and maybe they were kind of restless, and this is the reason why there could have been a huge argument. I'm getting arguments and disagreements a lot. It's just really strong in this pile. And the Death and rebirth. Now the Death is again like the closure. It's about like the closure. Maybe they have realized that maybe they need to be emotionally more open. Maybe they have realized again that you guys were right and maybe they were wrong. That's the main thing I'm able to pick up with that. So let's just see what is their ego telling them while they're thinking about you. So what is their ego telling to them about pile number one? Okay. You got the Ace of Wands. So I do feel like their ego is kind of telling them that there is a spark, guys. I do feel like it's again with the Death and Rebirth over here. I think like they have realized that they can come back again and they can, make the situation right again. So maybe they are thinking to come back and to rekindle in a good way. So what is their heart thinking about you? Like unfiltered version of their ego. So keeping their ego aside, for what are they thinking about pile number one? What is the subconscious telling them? Aw, I just got this when I pulled out this part, and that's why I meant aw. It's like I just heard like this is the good thing that I have asked for. This is like something I really have wished for. As a friend, as a partner, or maybe as a parent. That's what I'm seeing. I do feel like this person has come to a lot of realization about the situation uh, of this no contact. I'm telling you, they have improved, I can say. So let's just see and let's just conclude the four cards. So what is the conclusion of their thinking? What's the conclusion of those thoughts and thinking about pile number one? Okay. The Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very slow and steady knight in the tarot, and this is again, I just got slow and steady wins the race. Now, I don't know if this breakup was an impulsive decision. I do feel like your person did something with their ego. And I do feel like they have realized that. They have realized that, and maybe they could have come to the conclusion that you guys were right and they were wrong because they kind of listened to their ego. I don't feel like their ego is kind of telling them, like, I want to clarify because I'm getting like two types of situation where it is like I can do whatever I want and I can get the same person again. It's very selfish, but like if you feel like this person fits in that way, then take it. And the other thing is that their ego is kind of forcing them to maybe think about you and just to come back, and just to show your potential again. That's what their ego is telling them. But their heart is like, again, their heart is like, this is something you have asked for. This is something that, you genuinely was so good into your life, and you something has messed up. And I think like with all the conclusion of these four cards, the Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady, putting the efforts and laying the foundation. And then I do feel like this person is kind of getting emotionally mature day by day, emotionally getting aware. And I think like they are kind of realizing. Again, with wands, it's very fast moving energy. So I do feel like their ego is kind of telling them to come back maybe immediately. But I do feel like, again, there's this contradiction. Like, they're going to take a bit time. They're not going to act on that impulsively. I do feel like with the Ace of Wands, it's like, directly jump and to see the opportunity. Maybe they're like, what if pile one doesn't want me anymore as a friend? Or maybe they won't listen to me anymore. So the Ace of Wands is like their ego telling them maybe that you have to get your way again and to get back. Okay, so I do feel like if this is an ex that you guys are asking, I do feel like they're really thinking about rekindling. And the good thing is that they're gonna come out as a different and a mature person. Okay, so let's just clarify the King of Cups. We got the Page of Cups. Okay. You know what I'm thinking? That again, it's the Page of Cups is also like Page is always curious, and I do feel like this person is again like day by day looking at their emotions, but they are not just daydreaming. They are like with the King, they are controlling, they're acting on it, and they are kind of making themselves stable. With their I do feel like for some of you, this person had like inner child wounds. They could be realizing and healing that as well. But this is majorly a good sign with what they're doing and how they're thinking. So death and rebirth. Can you clarify maybe death and rebirth in terms of what have you realized about pile two? And we got two cards. And let's see. Okay, we got the Four of Pentacles in reverse. We got the Seven of Cups in reverse. Didn't you say like the oyster person is very reserved and not opening up? And the Seven of Cups reverse is exactly the shadow card, kind of like the shadow card being reversed. I didn't feel like if they had any sort of assumptions on you with the death and rebirth, that has come to an end. Maybe they have realized that maybe they were like too rigid and they were not understanding and they were not even ready to listen. And the Seven of Cups is like they are being disillusioned and they are finally now seeing like the reality, like I told you guys. So this is a confirmation from the clarity. Can you clarify me the Ace of Wands? Because this is kind of confusing with their egos telling them, about pile number one. So can you clarify me in terms of what are they thinking? The Wheel of Fortune is again the Wheel of Fortune is again like hitting their bullet at the target. So they might be. So I do feel like their ego might be telling them that this is the right time, jump in, jump in. But I do feel like, you know, the good thing is that this person is matured a bit, so they are not going to be acting that impulsively. With the Wheel of Fortune, it is like you need to come now and you need to communicate right now. And I do feel like if you guys wanted as well, but this person's not going to do that. I do feel like they are going to take a bit time. They're going to come out as the King of Cups because you guys are also like emotionally mature people, right? So they're going to come out that way if they really want to communicate with you guys. But this is what they're thinking, if you know, about you. And I want to clarify the Ace of Wands a bit more. Can you clarify me the Ace of Wands again? Okay, we got these ones, we got the Nine of Wands. Okay, so I do feel like their ego is really telling them to make those impulsive, fast decisions, but they are not listening to that side of them. Okay, especially I do feel like they want to, they do have the desire, and their ego is kind of like influencing them, yeah, influencing them to reach out, but they're not. They are going to take their time. Like they conclude the cards, we got the Nine of Pentacles. So they're going to take a bit time. They're not going to act on impulsively, and that's what they're thinking. I do feel like this person could be fantasizing about the outcome a lot, and maybe their ego could be telling them that what Earth could happen. Now I don't know if this person's taking negative, but I do feel like this person's taking in a positive way. Let's just see the Star card. Can you clarify me the Star card in terms of what the card is thinking? One. You got the Five of Cups. I do feel like the person does regret their behavior and they are realizing a lot. I'm telling you, there's a lot of realization. There's a lot of transformation with this person. And they definitely know. I feel like this person is very calculating about what they have to do in terms of action. Okay, there's action, there's determination coming forth, and that's the reason why I'm putting those words out. And yeah, they if they had messed up, they are regretting. You know, it's because to their heart, you're something that is a wish fulfillment. It is something that they have asked for. So can you clarify me the Knight of Pentacles? Okay, we again got the Seven of Wands reverse. Now, Seven of Wands, when it's upright, it's again, whenever I see Seven of Wands being upright, I kind of feel like there is a bit anxiety, or there could have been anxiety in the past, you know, and that's the reason why there could have been so much tension in this connection. I do feel like this person is going to come out, and I do feel like you're not gonna expect this from this person, to be honest, but I do feel like they have got a lot of realization and they have matured, and I do feel like they're not gonna be acting that impulsively with anxiety. I do feel like this person has been acting a lot with anxiety towards you guys, and that's the reason why there could have been a lot of friction and constant explanation, over explanation as well. I got that word. And with the Knight of Wands, it is like they're gonna take it slow, they're not gonna take it fast. That's what I'm getting. So I do feel like this person is realizing the parts of themselves while thinking about you. I do feel like you guys are making them realize that part, and that's the thing. And they are healing. They're gonna come out when this phase is done. So I want to clarify Knight of Pentacles once again. Oh, we got the lovers. Okay, so guys, they have chose, and I feel like this person has chose to act on the lovers' decision over here, and they have choose to act, I would say, in a mature way, in a way where you guys are not gonna get triggered again. I think like they have emotionally realized a lot of what they were doing and the part where they are wrong, and they're gonna reach out and make those amends. And maybe they don't really expect, you know, for you to say yes to them. They are just going to express it anyhow, and they're gonna just let you know about this. especially if this is a friend of yours, they are going to express that whatever they did, and maybe the next time they might be more careful. If this was a friend or this is a family member, they have definitely realized, like, you as a person, like, you're not that child anymore. You have grown up, and they don't have to be all there and just poking and nudging into your decision. I think like they have realized that, and maybe they are just gonna be present rather than coming really. I'm just getting like a father that's really overprotective and a mother that is so worried that what the world can do to a child. I think like they're very into social media and stuff, and they watch those stuff. They could be those type of parents, and that's the reason. I'm also getting like very hyper aware, and the reason why they're hyper aware is that maybe they went through something, and that's triggering them in a way. And I do feel like they have realized that part because of this, and now they're transforming for good, while and thinking about how to like make those amends towards you so that you feel their energy and their emotions in their presence. Hmm. That's all I got for you, pal number one, and I'm going to close this reading off over here. So I hopefully feel that this reading buy you some sort of clarity on your situation. And if you like my style of reading, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. If you feel like commenting down below with how it resonated, feel free to do that. And I'll see you guys in the next bigger card reading. Till then, take care of yourself and stay healthy. Hey, pal number two, if you guys trust the amethyst crystal, then this is going to be your reading on the person on your mind. What are they thinking about you in this no contact situation? So, before we jump into the actual part of the reading, I decided to pre-shuffle some of the cards which you have seen in the thumbnail and the intro. So, this is just going to clarify whether this is your pile and what. Oh, yeah, like when I'm talking about the cards over here, just take what resonates and leave the rest. If you feel like that, the entire situation does not match with you at all, then it is a sign that this is not your pile. Maybe there was some messages that you just needed to know, okay, about the connection. But so let's just go with the spread. So the first card that I shuffled is the connecting energies between you two guys. So this is going to be either the present, like you guys just are not talking, you decided not to talk anymore, or it was in the past. So take it the way it resonates. So we got the sword card in reverse. So this is kind of making me feel that whatever the communication that you guys were having, it was completely kind of misunderstood. And there is a bit of rigidness to not accept and to just go with what the other person was thinking. So this is how I feel like you guys are connecting. And of course, sword over here is about communication. And it's interesting because in the illustration over here there's lunar eclipse, and over here there is kind of like a solar eclipse. There's two opposite over here. So one person might be telling them something, but the other person is kind of taking it negatively, or they are kind of like, now I don't know if your person is kind of lying or they have been caught in lying, but this person has been trying to express with what they have felt, and they're trying to correct you in some ways, and that could be like kind of poking either to you or either to your person. Let's just look at both of yours energy so we can get more clarification. So the first card that I shuffled is for you guys, and the second card is going to be for your person, but you can just flip-flop them if you feel like to, and if you resonate on both, it's just that you guys are mirroring each other. So for you we got the crow, and for the person we got the earthworm. Okay, so if your person is the earthworm, I just want to say, like, this person is timid. This person, I'm just getting like, if you criticize them, they're not gonna take it. They feel like, or let's just say like you guys just told them that, hey, listen, like the way you talk. Let's just say the crow. The crow is wise over here, and the earthworm is kind of immature, I would just say. So that's the dynamic I'm also able to pick up. So yeah, I was telling, like, let's just say Earthworm is kind of working in its workplace and they're sharing some ideas to the crow, but the crow is like, hey, listen, you could do better over here. Or maybe just give them like a constructive type of criticisms. Now take it how it resonates to your situations. This is just an example, okay? And the Earthworm person took it way more deeper than it's supposed to be. So there's one person I would say that's taking like too personally, and the other person is kind of loose. It's not just, it's like they have a fight one day, and the core person is like, just let it go. As we move on, it's gonna just reset to the way it is. But I do feel like there's one person that is very sensitive. That is very sensitive over here. And if you're like dealing with an earthworm over here, I just feel like they're shy, they're timid, they're sensitive, and they would not like, they would need, I feel like this person could have been literally pampered a lot, and that's the reason why they were the way they are right now. I think like they expect the same from everybody. So yeah, this could have affected in the way they are growing up. Like, of course, like too much nurturing is just gonna make someone like more shy, more sensitive as well, and more reserved sometimes. And with the crow over here, I do feel like you guys, if you're the crow and you're able to resonate, like you guys are kind of psyche. I would like to say that, because I do feel like you guys can pick up what the earthworm person might be feeling, and like let's just say like you just said something and you didn't mean it, and I think like you would have not understood that. You could have felt like it's normal, but if the earthworm person is hiding, like they felt bad, I think like with the crow energy as yours, you would directly know. And I think over here, this is the part where I'm feeling like if you guys explain to them, I feel like they also take this explaining in a very misunderstood way. Like whatever the communication is, it's very unstructured. I don't feel like the earthworm person is understanding anything what the crow person is feeling, to be honest. Like the earthworm over here, I would also say with the earthworm, this person is more reserved in their emotions as well. Like you can see this colorful background that is in this card. The earthworm is kind of wrapped around it, and they're not sharing it. Whereas the crow is holding it over here, but they're open. So I do feel like this person is kind of not open, whereas one person is kind of open to talk and to share. Now, this again is kind of making me feel about some sort of childhood issues that the earthworm person had. And that's the reason why today, if they are trying to navigate any situation, it kind of causes them a bit problem, because they're kind of sensitive and they don't know how to take the information that they need to take. Okay, that's what I'm able to pick up. Let's just see more about this situation that you have been with this person. So we have got the moon. Interesting. More about the issue, we got the service card. I hope it's visible on the front. And with the emotional state of this connection, hold your vision. Hold your vision is like the card. Okay, this is kind of again giving me a vibe where the other person is questioning the other, but they have that issue. It's like you are pointing to the other person and telling that they are the problem, but actually they are the person that is pointing out. And with the service card over here, I do feel like, again, this earthworm, if earthworm is your person, they need gentleness. They need a lot of gentleness when you're dealing with them. And with the act of service card over here, it is like the way they have been treated. This is what I'm getting. Okay, this is like your person. If you like poke this person and kind of tell them, okay, I'm just gonna show this person the way that they need to be, I don't think your person is willing to accept it. They're just gonna make the situation more worse. Let's just say like with the moon card over here, there is a bit of element of mystery, and I feel like it's caused a bit by this earthworm. I do feel like the crow is open, but the earthworm is reserved, and this is the reason why there is communication clash. The earthworm is kind of making me feel, again, it is like, if, okay, I'm just getting a very extreme example, but I'll just say it anyways, but it's like a random guy just approached you guys, let's just say that, the earthworm person is going to take it the wrong way, you know? Like, the earthworm was kind of giving me a vibe that would get jealous and possessive immediately, whereas the crow person is open, and then the crow person is going to try to explain this earthworm. The earthworm is not going to take it lightly. They are going to create a little fight, a little drama, and they're not gonna, I don't think like there's trust in this connection at all. There's no trust, like, and I feel like it's the earthworm not trusting the crow, and the crow is still open to like mend things and to try to explain them in the best possible way that they can. So again, this reading is also like, you can take it for a friend or a family member, and mostly I'm just picking up on a dynamic where it can be a situationship or friendship or even a romantic relationship. Okay, that's what it's like I'm getting like two colleague vibe as well, like two type of colleague vibe. And I do feel like with this connection over here, I do feel like this connection it is like somebody that you have a good history and connection, but I do feel like as the time had went by, there has been problem. Now I do feel like this problems where it is coming, it is like both the person, of course, a person changes as time goes on, and I do feel like one person could be feeling that there's a lot new changes to the other person, and with the emotional state, I do feel like there's a lot of questioning, and I do feel like there's one person that feels like the other person is not being loyal. Okay, so it could either be you feeling that this person is not loyal to you, or it could be that, the earthworm feels insecure and they kind of project onto the crow person, you know. But the crow person over here, I would just say like it's extremely wise, very understanding, and I kind of get the vibe for some of you, you could have mothered or really nurtured this person, and I do feel like this person could have taken that type of advantage and just could have kept taking and taking. Or this could also be the opposite, like this person could be a bit naive and they could have given you a lot, okay, and you guys took, and maybe you did something in the between and that made them a bit hesitant. It's kind of giving me one movie where there was this person that joked about cheating, and they had a very good long-term connection, like they wanted to get married, but after that joke, the girl felt kind of like like that guy was drunk, and the girl felt kind of like, why the hell would you make that joke, about cheating? So do you believe that men should cheat? That's the thing. This is how I feel like the misunderstanding could have been created. Like, you could have just jokingly said something about their work and they just took it another way, or you guys would have been having another friend and this person could have been like, so, like, what do you mean, like, this is another friend? I feel like this person, whoever it is kind of possessive. I do feel like this person could be a bit of a loner type as well, and they could be like kind of dependent, codependency over here for sure. And I think like that's what I'm able to pick up. I do feel like there's a lot of element of mystery in this pile that the other person does not know. And with the service card over here, I don't feel like what the person is asking, they're not getting what they're deserving, or at least that's the way they're viewing the situation, and they're kind of questioning with the whole your vision in terms of emotional connection over here. So that's what I was able to pick up. So let's just get these cards aside, and if that resonated, this is going to be a reading. And since this is a general reading, of course, it's not gonna resonate. Sometimes it could only resonate about like 10 to 20%. But I don't know, if it's, as long as you're able to resonate, this reading is for you. And I swear, whenever I'm shuffling on camera, I don't know why I'm not getting a good shuffle, and this happens all the time. Like, okay, that was a good chuckle. Okay, so let me just explain the spread. So in terms of their feelings in this no contact situation, I do feel like this person could have taken a break. As what I'm sensing, I don't think like this is a breakup. This is like a break, like a little break, because this kind of makes me feel like this is a connection that's overwhelming, especially for the crows. If you guys were the person that felt like there needs to be a bit of a break and a bit of a reset in the mind, then I do feel like this is one hint that this could also be a reading. But if not, I think like if it was not, people have already clicked off to another pile. Let's see their main feelings. Oh, not feelings. What are they mainly thinking about pile 2 in this no contact situation? So we got right away Page of Cups, and I think like I should take it. So we got Page of Cups. I'm just gonna keep this over here. I'm gonna just put it over. So they are thinking and daydreaming about you. I do feel like whoever this person is immature, and we were seeing that with the Earth Mother energy, if you resonated with that part. But I do feel like this person is missing you. They do think about you, and they kind of daydream. I do feel like they might remember the good times a lot. Like, it's kind of giving me a vibe. It's kind of dramatic vibe. It's like, you were so sweet. When did you become this rude, or when did you just become this strict? I don't know. This is the vibe that I'm able to pick up. But what this card means is that, yeah, they are just thinking, they're dreaming about you, some scenarios in their head. And okay, so thinking and thinking, what have they realized about pile 2? What have they realized about pile 2 while thinking in this contact situation? Got 2 cards. I'm gonna take one, so Spirit, just give me one. Okay. We got the 7 of Wands upright. What have they realized? I think like with the 7 of Wands being upright, this is a person that is, works hard and hard. But I can see like this person is kind of, look at her head. She's not listening to what other people have to say. So I do feel like they could have realized that maybe they were kind of immature and they were acting a bit coward. And they could have realized that, instead of, they might have pointed at you that you were the problem, but now they're realizing, as I think like they keep on thinking, I think like they kind of realize like what they have been doing and how rigid they were. I do feel like this person understood. I think like they are, but I don't think in a mature way. I don't think they have realized it, like thinking about you. So let's just see what is their ego or their conscious mind kind of is thinking or coming in the way when they're thinking about you. Okay, we got the Temperance, and we also got the 5 of Wands. Okay, I do feel like they feel this. I'll just take this as well. I do feel like in terms of what I think like their ego is kind of like, this could be fixed. But again, with their personality and how they are so reserved and rigid, I don't think like they are going to come up. They are those type of, I'm getting this nerdy students type of vibe where they get a good opportunity, but they are talented, but they are so scared of the crowd and to face their fears. And this is, they give them their ego is giving them one reason to either not acknowledge or either not to like come forward if they were wrong in some situation and to like make those amends. I feel like this is how this person is. I do feel like they know that, okay, if this person has been dishonest to you in some ways, I do feel like this person is like, they know they have the chance to tell you, but I don't think like they are. They're kind of giving themselves a reason to not. It is kind of like, it's giving like an internal conflict. Like there is something that they know they can do, but I do feel like their ego is kind of telling and giving them a reason. And this is kind of coming from their insecurities in some ways, and that's the reason why they're not. I do feel like they are still rigid, and I think like they are knowing of that, but they're not taking any sort of action to be in this temperance. That's what I'm able to pick up if I'm seeing the cards. Temperance is a reset kind of button type of card that they can make that change, but they're not. With the Five of Wands coming up next to it, it is like either they don't know what to do, or they're giving themselves a reason to not do anything. That's what I'm able to pick up. So let's just see like this unfiltered version of their ego and everything, like keeping the ego and everything aside. What are they subconsciously thinking about you? What are they subconsciously thinking about? Pile number 2, their person. What are they thinking about? Pile 2. Okay, now this card came out like this, so I don't know if it wanted to come out reverse or. Come on, I'm gonna just give it a spin. Okay, it wanted to come out reverse. So, okay. When the Side of Cups up, right, is about being confused, not able to see like which cup is having the wealth and which one is like gives me snake on ladder. But I do feel like when it's in reverse, this is a card a bit about realization about the illusions that they were in, and I think that those illusions are cracking up right now. Let's see the overall conclusion of their thinking about what they have been thinking. The overall conclusions with what they have been thinking. Oh, this is so beautiful. 12 Cups. Okay, so it kind of gives me a vibe that this person does know that they do acknowledge you as someone that is like a soulmate that is really dear to them. But again, I do see like there is a bit of a contradiction when they're thinking about you, and this is because the ego is in their way. I do feel like if they let go of this ego and whatever is that is stopping something, or maybe this is something that they need to heal, when they do that, I do feel like they can grow emotionally as a person and be more healthy as a human being. Like I do feel like this is a person that could have a lot of tendency to like isolate themselves a lot, or to keep themselves busy when they know that they need to communicate. I do feel like this is that type of a person that would not come out straight, that would be kind of indirect. So I do feel like they recognize this connection. They do daydream about you. This has been a long-term connection with this person. It is beautiful. I do feel like the thing is like they could have massive ego or like massive amount of insecurity when they were growing up as a child, and this is the reason why I do feel like they're kind of unstable, like as adults, or like presently how they are. And I do feel like it's like, you know, guys, even if they miss you and imagine and they do think of 2 cups, but the main issue is this ego card over here that I feel like it's going to stop them, and I don't know for how long that could happen. But this person is kind of in denial to talk, or maybe to like just accepted that they were the problem. You know, that's what the vibe is on. This is what the vibe I'm getting. So let's just see with the Page of Cups. I do feel like this person could also, with the Five of Wands, kind of demonize you in certain ways, so they don't have to think, or maybe they don't have to do the work. Well, let's just see with the Page of Cups. Let's clarify the Page of Cups. What are their main thoughts? What are their main thoughts? What happened? Okay. We got 2 cards, but I need 1. We also got the star card in pile 1, so I don't know if you were drawn to that pile. Also, the setup has changed because I'm doing this reading the next day, because I just got very few minutes of my free time and I used it for the reading. Okay, with the star card over here, this is again about, I'm seeing fantasies and daydreaming a lot about this person and about you. The way that they're thinking, I do feel like you could be a person, you know, that has been a type of, that could have been their ideal type, okay? And I do feel like in those ways, like being the ideal type and having a good fantasy, you know, I do feel like you guys were a wish fulfillment of their Two of Cups. You know, they do think you as, you know, their counterpart or someone that they want a long-term connection with. But again, if their ego is in the way, then nothing's going to happen. You are a wish fulfillment, and I do feel like this is a major arcana, so you guys might have starstruck them as well. If this is a friend or a coworker, I do feel like you guys have helped them a lot. I do feel like because of their petty reasons, they have made this connection the way it is today, or maybe it was in no contact. Let's see the Seven of Wands upright. Can you clarify more? I got the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is again, I do feel like they realize the feelings that they have for you. You know, there's cups over here a lot. I do feel like they have realized that intense feeling about you while they're thinking, like they have realized that, okay, they feel this certain way. I do feel like they know that what they have to do, but again, it's kind of like their ego is coming in their way. It is always like a but in the between. This person is kind of indecisive. I do feel like in terms of what they're thinking and what have they realized, I do think like they have realized that they have a lot of attraction towards you, and I do feel like they want to offer the cup, maybe take you on a date, you know. But again, with this temperance, do they accept the temperance? Okay, do they want to reset? Do they want to come back? Or do they want to go away from you, you know, to keep themselves a reason to not come towards you? So clarify me the ego, the temperance, and the Five of Wands. So can you clarify me that in terms of what this person is thinking about pile 2? Can you clarify me that, Spirit? Okay, got 2 cards. So you got the Wheel of Fortune. Now you also got the Nine of Pentacles. So I do feel like this person could be keeping you on a pedestal. Also, 2 cards came out for ego. So I do feel like 2 number could be a bit significant. Maybe it's their spirit guides communicating to you or your guides communicating to you. Okay, so Nine of Pentacles over here. I do feel like this person is kind of keeping you in a pedestal, and again, I do feel like either they're demonizing you, or either their insecurities are getting the best of them, and they kind of feel like they don't deserve you in certain ways. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, again, it's kind of keeping you on the pedestal. The ego is kind of making that image in their head that maybe you guys don't want them anymore. And it's, again, these are like some excuses you can say, or maybe it is really their insecurity and, you know, the way they are, it's kind of making them feel this way. I feel, and of course, you know, this person is unaware of what you feel for them. So that's the reason, again, they're keeping you a lot on the pedestal. And this is the reason why they might not reach out, or they're not thinking to reach out currently right now, you know, whenever you're watching this reading. So let's just clarify the Seven of Cups in reverse. Can you clarify me the Seven of Cups in reverse? Can you clarify me the Seven of Cups in reverse? We got the Ten of Swords upright. Okay, I don't know, but this is what their heart is feeling. With the Ten of Swords being upright, I feel like this person kind of feels like this connection is over between you both. Like there's no chance. Maybe that you guys, I do think like this is again kind of coming. I do feel like their ego, and again, I'm getting so much attention over the ego, their insecurities, their childhood, they are unhealed. I do feel like that is affecting them a lot. I do feel like the heart chakra is closed as well. I do think like they need to go to therapy or something to get themselves. I do feel like this person is unhealed, whoever this is, and they have a little bit of emotional distress type of symptom in them, or I just want to be honest. I don't think like this person even knows. They don't even know what they want in life. They don't know what they want in life, and that's the reason that they're so indecisive in this reading. They're so indecisive. They're so contradictory in this reading that I don't know. Let's just clarify the Two of Cups. It's so clear that they see you as the one. They see the potential, but again, it's their ego and their insecurities, their childhood trauma, just coming and making them feel less, and they're keeping you on a pedestal. So Two of Cups. Clarify me the Two of Cups. We got the Eight of Wands. Okay, this is like wanting to reach out, wanting to send message in digital ways, or just come and meet up maybe one day. It's kind of giving me a fantasy that they want to bump into you, but again, nothing's going to happen. Like they have to take the action, and there's going to be no miracle that's going to come up and you guys going to meet. They have to put in the effort over here, and if they're not, then this is not going anywhere. So I do feel like pile 2, I feel like you shouldn't waste your time on this person. This person is super indecisive, and they have their own problems and issues. They have a lot on their plate, I would also say, and they need a lot of healing. They need a lot of healing. There's a lot of contradiction in this pile. Whatever they're doing right now, they're still immature. Okay, they're still immature. So I do feel like if you're getting some sort of like doubts that this person, let's just say, broke up with you or just took a break, and they are thinking, like, I would say trust your intuition, because you guys are psyche. And I would say with the Crow card, if you were able to resonate, I do feel like you pick up on this person's emotion really well. So if you feel like something about this person intuitively, I would definitely tell you, like, 100% take it. And yes, this person is kind of back and forth, and it's because, again, of their pride, ego, whatever is coming in. So I'll just end this reading here. I do feel like this person does not know whether to completely end it, or they want to reset this connection. So it's just kind of giving me like, if they ever come, I do feel like they would still be a bit immature and kind of like distorted. And I don't think like you're gonna like that about this person as well. So if you enjoyed this reading or find this reading helpful, then consider subscribing, liking, and commenting down. And I'll see you guys in the next Wicked Card reading. So till then, take care and stay healthy. Bye bye. Hello, Palamatri. If you guys picked the Rose Heart Crystal, then this is going to be your reading on what this person on your mind is thinking about you. So, before we jump on the main topic of this reading, let's just do an energy check so you guys see this pre-shuffled cards already. This is going to serve as the energy check here. So, if you do not resonate in this part of the reading, or you feel confused, or you're like, when did this happen, because it is based on past or maybe the present energy between you two, so that's how you know that this is going to be a pile. And if not, then it's okay. You can either watch the other 2 piles that I did the reading on, or maybe watch another video as per your convenience. And let's just get started. Also, this is a general reading. It's not gonna 100% resonate. So let's just get into the spread. So this card that I shuffled is going to be about the connecting energy between you two. So we got the Self card. Okay, so this is kind of giving me a vibe that one person selfishly chose something, Okay, I don't want to say selfishly, but still, the selfish word just came out really strong. So either selfishly chose or they had like no condition, but they had to choose and pick themselves because they had no option. So this is like somebody that could have left you maybe because either they wanted to pursue their own path in life and they were not interested to mend up anything. And yeah, so this person could be an ex that you guys could be asking about, or it could be an old friendship. It could also be about someone that you could be in a situationship with this person, but this person kind of dumped you or ditched you for someone else. Maybe that's the kind of vibe that I'm able to pick up. And yeah, that's what I'm picking up with the self card. So I do feel like either both of you did that or like there's one person that did that. So let's look at your both energy and then we'll get an idea who did what. So the first card that I shuffled was for you guys, and the second I intended for your person on your mind. So you guys are being represented as the Firefly in reverse. Okay, and your person is the Lamp. Okay, looking at the card, I do feel like you guys, if you are the Firefly, but if you feel like you're the Lamp person, it could totally be fine, as long as you're able to resonate. That's what the intention of this reading is. And so if you resonate with the Firefly, I do feel like you gave a lot to this person, and I feel like you are disappointed. I do feel like whatever the light you had, this Lamp person, if this is person, I feel like this sucked out of you. Even the Lamp person does not mean like that, but I do feel like energetically they have did, or maybe like you guys have tried your level best, like for the Lamp person to either stay or to be in contact. But I do feel like this Lamp person kind of chose themselves, and looking at the card and the colors over here, it kind of makes, the self over here was the Lamp. The Lamp chose, you know his own self and is kind of minding his own business. Okay, I do feel like with the Lamp over here, I don't know if there was like a competition between you two, but it's kind of giving like one person felt really small than the other. I don't know, but again, I'm getting a power dynamic struggle as well, because, and I do feel like with the Firefly, guys, like I feel like if you are in this present state of energy, I would kind of tell you guys to like do a cord cutting session if this connection is bothering you in a certain level, because I do feel that way. Because I don't know, this pile, you guys are kind of giving me a bit of strong headache, like suddenly. And I do feel like if you guys are in this state of energy where you have given a lot to this person, you gotta retreat back. You gotta get back to your old self, or maybe the person that you want to be, and I think like it's the time like to get your focus out of all the tarot readings that you have been watching about this person. If you have been doing that, I do feel like that's a bit unhealthy. Okay, and since this is reversed, this is again like going out, kind of being a little scattered here and there and giving your energy to everybody. You gotta be a bit selfish like the Lamp person over here. I don't want to say it. It could also be like you are the Lamp person and maybe you could be just checking on, but I do feel like whoever the Firefly is like kind of feels very low, like energetical wise feels low, but the other person is kind of shining, they're okay, but the Firefly over here is kind of like giving me that they're in a very low energy and they need to retreat back. And let's just see the issues or what had happened between you two. So we got the High Priestess. You guys got two cards, so I'm just gonna lay that. The Tarot, and we also got the Page of Cups. Okay, this kind of gives me a vibe. The one person gave all. I, okay, this is kind of interesting because I got something, a download, where it is like if the Firefly gave something to the Lamp, I don't think the Lamp really understood. Like, this is some sort of sacrifice that you made for them. Okay, I don't know what it is, but I'm getting the word sacrifice. Like, you did sacrifice, but I do feel like over here with the High Priestess card, it was it was not acknowledged. I do feel like with the Page of Swords over here, this is again about words of appreciation, maybe, you know, curiosity. So I don't think this, whoever, or maybe you didn't do that. Okay, but I do feel like it is the person who chose themselves did that, if that makes sense. We also got the release card in reverse. Just put it this way. And for the emotional state, we got a time for healing. And I do feel like I was talking about a healing for the Firefly. And yeah, if you are resonating with the Firefly, or I'm also getting another case scenario where this connection could be so draining that you guys had to leave and you guys had no choice. Again, I said, like, whoever is the self person didn't had any choice or either selfishly chose something. Okay, so you take how it's resonating. I do feel like with the Firefly has been giving and they gave out all the light, and I feel like with the Lamb person, they have been taking. I do feel like the Lamb over here is a naive person, and if you have been giving to this person, they have been like taking and taking. I don't think like they have acknowledged that what you have gave to this person. I don't think they had made acknowledgement, or they could have, they didn't even appreciate maybe you. Simply they were just kind of like in their state. I do feel like for some of you, there, if this connection was something a long term and there was a breakup because of some fight, there's another series that's coming up because of this release card in reverse. It's kind of giving me that one person didn't let go of any type of old fights, and they were still holding grudges towards it. And again, that kind of is kind of leading towards a breakup. It was like too much for the other person, and they left. So I do feel like there's one person that is really good at in terms of energy, but there's one person who is very low. And if you guys are in that state, I would really suggest you guys to really take care of yourself, because I feel your guys' energy and this emotional state of mind. I do feel like one person is healing and the other person is still dwelling a bit, but I do feel like they're healing. I do feel like with this release card in reverse, I do feel like if you guys are the Firefly, you guys could be unable to release this person from your life. You guys might be feeling like there could be something. I do feel like with the High Priestess being upright, you know, we don't know what the outcome is, but the High Priestess knows, right? So I do feel like you guys could be guessing that maybe this person comes back to you if this again was a situationship. I'm really getting that this could strongly be a situationship, okay? It is kind of giving me that vibe. It's like, or it is like a really long-term connection, and it is like one person is still holding the grudges and it kind of ended. And with the Page of Swords, yeah, I do feel like there could also be poor communication, or there could have been communication, but I do feel like one person felt kind of unappreciated in this connection. And the emotional state, as for now or maybe in the past, I do feel like you guys could have acknowledged that you guys need healing, or maybe this person is like they left you because they couldn't handle you and they felt like they need healing, or maybe they saw like within you're getting emotionally unstable. And with this release card in reverse over here, this is the problem. I don't think like either it's you that is not able to release this connection. I do feel like you could be picking up on this person energetically a lot, and I do feel like you guys are energetically hung up on this person. Especially looking at the dynamic, I do feel like there could be a lot power, possessiveness, and also selfishness for a few of you. Like this person could be really selfish. But I'm also getting like, what's the word? I just got the word in my head, but it's not coming up again. Okay, so this is like, oh yeah, I got it. Having grudges and still being a bit rigid to accept it. It's like there's one person not accepting something. Okay, now either this could be you, or either this could be a person. So take how it resonates, and I think like that's what I'm able to pick up from the energy spread that I did. So let's just now look at the cards, and if you guys were able to resonate with this part a bit, then this is going to be your reading. If you were able to resonate on both sides, I can also say like you guys could be mirroring each other, and that could have caused a bit friction in your connection. So let's look at first, what are they mainly thinking about you? What are they mainly thinking about you? What are their main thoughts about you when they think about you? I swear to God, like, why the hell on camera my shuffling is kind of getting... Again, it's raining outside, so it could be that my deck is kind of holding a moisture. And that's the reason why it's kind of not shuffling well. I'll just give it one last shuffle. Okay, perfect. Now let's just start shuffling your cards with what are their main thoughts, what are they mainly thinking about you when they think about pile 3. Queen of Wands, okay. Okay, and now I kind of get it. Like, you guys could literally be the Firefly. Because the Queen of Wands has a lot of light within herself, and she knows, and I do feel like you kind of gave a lot to this person, and I do feel like you guys could be a bit in a low vibrational type of energy. But again, they see you, like, when they think about you, I do feel like they, if this was a physical connection, they could still be thinking about the times you have spent with them, you know, romantically. I'm kind of drawn to the candles as well. So it could be like they're kind of thinking about the romantic nights that you guys might have had, or just simply, I do feel like they think about you. So I do feel like they think about your looks is coming up. So thinking about this Queen of Wands as you, what have they realized? What have they realized while thinking about pile 3? 5 of Cups. Oops. Oopsie, if this was a situationship, you guys are here. This person, this is kind of like a missed opportunity card. So I do feel like they have missed. Come on, like, they see you as the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is exceptionally very attractive, and you know, she has a lot of suitors, a lot of lovers, and I do feel like they kind of missed out on it. And again, I do feel like, you know, I was getting this energy that I do feel like as a Queen of Wands, if you were the Queen of Wands and you were giving to this person, they did not acknowledge and they did not appreciate that. And now look how they're feeling and they're thinking. Now they really got that swift realization that they missed out on a very good connection. So let's just see what their ego, what are they consciously thinking about you, or maybe what their ego is kind of telling them and kind of interrupting when they're thinking about you. So what is their ego? Okay. 3 of Swords. Okay, this person has massive amount of sadness right now. Okay, they do have left out. Again, the Queen of Wands could be very intimidating. Now, I don't know why. Maybe you guys just... Because Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, they do come up as very, like, casual type of people. Like, they just want casual type of connection. Maybe they realized it maybe now that you wanted something serious with them. Or this could be, oh, this is also kind of giving me, if this is a friend, you know, it's kind of giving like one of the popular girls that wanted to have friendship with you, and not in the mean, and she didn't want to bully you or something, but she comes off as this intimidating person, and maybe she had a lot opportunities to give to you, or maybe you could have a very good connection, but you realize that you kind of misunderstood her, and here they are with the 5 of Cups with a lot of grief. I do feel like if this person chose someone else over you, they are having that massive amount of regret and sadness. They kind of realize that they missed on the most hot, sexy woman, or a really hot and attractive man. Again, since the Queen of Wands is a feminine energy, does not have to be like, if you're a man watching this, does not have to mean that, you know, it only applies to the female over here. Like, energy is gender neutral, you know. You guys could also have a black cat, because look at this black cat. Or you guys could like black cats. Or maybe this person noticed you with cats, or maybe with a pet. You know, it doesn't have to be a cat. So let's just look the unfiltered version. Like, what are they subconsciously thinking and what they know? Judgment. Judgment is about like realizing and having an epiphany. So this is again their heart kind of realizing that they lost you. And their ego, I think like their ego is troubling them. It is like, boy, you missed out on such a good opportunity and now you're regretting it. So let's just see like their overall thoughts, maybe. Their overall thoughts when they're thinking about you, the conclusion of all of these 4 cards spirit about pile number 3's person. Can you give a card for their cat? We got 3 cards. Okay, and I'm okay, I'm not gonna take all of them. You gotta give me one. Justice. Well, boy or girl, you could have done that when, you know, pile through when you were giving this person. I think like they should have appreciated. I do feel like overall the feeling is that again they're heartbroken. Maybe, you know, with this, the Queen of Wands is confident, but I do feel like you guys could have gave a lot to this person and you guys were a bit heartbroken. And I think like you guys are healing and you guys are like maybe looking for either you guys are doing the opportunity, you guys are shining, but internally you're still healing, or maybe you guys might have started looking for someone else. I do feel like this person now has realized that they have lost an opportunity and they weren't fair and they wish they could have been fair. Okay, so let's just clarify this Queen of Wands. Can you clarify me this Queen of Wands with what does it mean more in their thinking? Oh, I got the Lioness. Okay, I do feel like they realized that you guys could have been a good, that you, like, okay, I do feel like if this person was like a type of a nerd and a popular girl being interested, I don't know why I'm getting Darman shows a lot in my head. I don't know. This is the first time that's happening, but it is again. There's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of and a bit of stereotypes if you guys are from a completely different background. I do feel like with the Strength card over here and with the Queen of Wands, I do feel like if you guys could have been very intimidating, and I do feel like you guys could have been getting, like they could have been falling for you, but again, they, now I don't know if in the past they have been heartbroken by someone like the Queen of Wands, and that's the reason why they might have rejected you. Okay, so again, I do feel like you guys were able to take care of them in a very good way. You guys were doing good, and it is, you know, those type of people where they run away when things are very good and they cannot handle it. Maybe this person was not able to handle it, but now they're realizing the mess they did for themselves, and now they have to deal with all of this. Can you clarify me the 5 of Cups? 5 of Cups is with King of Wands. Okay, I think like they kind of realized that how immature they were. Okay, especially how, like I'm getting like they were a fool. They were a fool and they had an opportunity to get somewhere, or maybe they had an opportunity to grow with you, but again they are regretting, like this is the outcome. Okay, I'm seeing the King of Wands as the outcome, that they're like, King of Cups is like they could have been the ultimate one for you. They could have got this connection to a very stable long-term connection emotionally, and I do feel like because This is fire and this is cups. I do feel like this person, I felt like they kind of, again, I was getting the feeling that they feel small. They feel small, and especially the Queen of Wands is intimidating. They can make you feel that way, and some people are jealous of her. And I do feel like this person either could have felt that the Queen of Wands over here was again kind of messing and playing around, but now they realized that there was a good potential for this connection to go somewhere. Okay, but this King of Cups should be like in a stable connection. So let's just see, can you clarify me the Three of Swords over here? I do feel like their ego is poking them right in the butt. Can you clarify me the Three of Swords? The Devil. Okay. The Devil is about like upright over here. It's obsession. It's being drawn and very much attracted. I don't know if this person drinks or something, but I do feel like this person copes a lot of their pain with alcohol, maybe. I don't know, but I just got that vibe. And again, the Devil is about ego, greed, pride, and I do feel like at this point it's kind of getting the best of them. Maybe they acted very poorly and a lot cowardly. Maybe they realize it, and I do feel like their ego is kind of poking them. And I do feel like whatever it is, they're crashing down. Clarify me the Judgment. Wait. Can you clarify me the Judgment? We got the Death, and we got the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups and the Death card is about transformation. And what they're thinking right now, that I don't think like this person, they do regret, but I do feel like either they are looking or maybe will try to seek opportunities in future, but I do feel like when they're healed and when they are at a good place, it's kind of giving me a vibe like a person that has money and they can offer you, especially the Queen of Wands, like what they can offer to the Queen of Wands over here. I do feel like if this person has like a massive ego or a lot of pride, I do feel like you guys, I think like it's too late, of course, and I think like right now they got that epiphany and that realization that, you know, that they acted poorly and they were the one that caused that issue and they were selfish. I think like they're realizing, but I do feel like this connection has made them genuinely very happy, and they realize that maybe they're getting the epiphany that again, this could have been something really stable and good, and they could have been self-fulfilled again, but I'm getting a bit of selfish vibe that this person is a bit selfish. Okay, so I do feel like you should be a bit careful because this person is selfish. Can you clarify me the Justice? Okay, this is again like the Justice is go-getter, being balanced, being, you know, knowing what to do things and knowing how to keep it balanced. Again, this is again that realization that I told you, that this could be something really good, stable, and in balance. Like you could have been a very long-term connection with this person if they weren't this coward. But I do feel like, guys, and I don't know, this could be for some of you, but this person is selfish. This person is selfish, and they can come to talk to you if they really want something. Okay, it could either be like if they want something, but I do feel like this person is a bit of kind of seeing if there's benefits in certain connection. They're that type. So that's why I'm getting a bit caution. Like it's kind of giving me like, ew, they're so selfish and they can use you again. It's kind of giving me that vibe, and I want to say it clearly. I'm not gonna hide it. So that's what I'm able to get from this. I do feel like they realized that this connection could have been good, and they kind of spilled the cups, and now they're regretting it. And I do feel like they're kind of thinking like, oh, they could have done this, they could have done that. They're in that epiphany mode when they're thinking about it. And I do feel like this person is constantly thinking, and they're keeping you on the pedestal. And I do feel like they have realized your value right now. What you were, I don't think that they realized when you were giving to this person. So this is again kind of giving me a vibe that this person is really selfish, and you're the Queen of Wands. I don't think like you should have ever done that. Like again, this could again be very small, have a lot of ego, and a bit insecure. And these type of people do tend to suck the light out of a person that is doing well in life, especially if you guys are like empaths and you have a lot of emotion and you're sensitive. And again, it's very easy for these type of people to suck your light out. So this is a warning and the caution that I'm getting as well for you guys. So I'm gonna end this reading here. So if you guys like this reading, and like my style of reading, you can subscribe, or maybe commenting down or giving it a like. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next pick a card reading. So till then, take care of yourself and stay healthy.